Hey there, I'm in the Cool to Craft studios and I'm working with my jig, one of my most favorite tools, and I've pre-twisted my wire, which you can learn how to do on my other videos. And I'm actually making a really cool medallion for my Gratitude Goddess journal. That's with my new Spellbinder die, the Goddess, love her. And there's an example right over here I love how this piece turned out. Now this is using one pattern on the jig, but instead of stopping after you do the first pattern, I'm going to show you how to lift it up and continue so that you can make like a border. So if you're doing paper crafting for cards or scrapbooking, you can make a really cool border, but I wanted to marry it all together and make a medallion. Now with your jig, this is what's called a beginner jig, so it's plastic. And you always get these really great instructions, so there are some patterns that you can make immediately. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the jig, place it over those dark circled holes, and then I start to put the pegs in. So we're just going to take those little pegs, put them into the holes, and what we're doing is we're creating a pattern. Now, by all means, you could use your own imagination and come up with your own pattern. That's something that I really like to do. And then right over here, really quick, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to follow. See where it says 1, 2, 3, where's 4? There's 4. So I'm just going to follow that pattern. So I'm bringing this long pre-twisted piece, it's about 36 inches long, and I'm going to lay it down. And then I'm just going to wrap it around that first peg, and then I come around the next one, and you see how I'm working it with my fingers. Okay, let me get that guy. There you go. See that? Isn't that cool? Now, I'm keeping the jig in place, but then sometimes I do dance with it. So I'll just really carefully, it's getting everything on my desk here, which is so much fun. It's crafts in action. So now what I'll do, instead of taking this off and calling it a day, which I certainly could because that's the finished pattern, I'll go ahead, very carefully lift it up because these little pegs, well, they want to find a new home across the studio. And we don't want to do that because then we'll have to go find them. So let's put that back. And then remember that last loop, I'm just going to put it at the beginning. And I literally just start all over again. So let's wrap it around, and we're jigging. Working on a jig is so much fun. And again, you know, you can take an image, say you had a cross or a star or a snowflake. I mean, really anything, any type of an image, you could just copy it, and as long as it's yours, and create a really special little pattern. This little guy wants to dance. He wants to keep coming out. So once again, I'm just going to place that. And you see, it's really dancing everywhere. This is what makes it so special. Now, you would just continue to do this if you had 1 yard. You would go about 4.5 times, but what I want to do is I want to bring in a piece that's done so that you get a better idea of what's happening here. Here is the finished piece. So I've actually gone over the pattern 4.5 times, and let me just get this out of the way really quick. And what I've done is I've just bent this and connected it, and there's my medallion. Isn't that cool? Let me lay it down for you. And you could see that on the finished journal. But that's working with a jig. I mean, really, you just take your wire and get jiggy. I'm Jules, and it's Cool to Craft.